1 John 2:8 gives us a great example of how you can't always translate the subjunctive with may or might, because sometimes it'll just be 100% wrong. Kai nun teknia, menita en auto, hina, aeon phanerothe, skomen parisian, kai, me eiskun ap autu, ente parousia autu. So it's and now, teknia, the iota makes it the diminutive of teknon, so it's little children, term of infection. And here's a really hard word. It's meno, the word means remain, but the Old English abide actually is much closer to what John is trying to say. Remain is kind of flat. I wish we could bring back the word abide, but we can't. But it's a second person plural imperative. You know it's an imperative just from the context. Remain in him. And that's what John's been talking about all along, hasn't it? About living in relationship with Jesus Christ. And that is one of the real assurances of our salvation. Okay, now we get into the subjunctives. Hina, so you know there's going to be a subjunctive somewhere, but you have the if clause in a conditional sentence. You notice that you have aeon, so you know this word has to be subjunctive, right? So it's in order that if, how are you going to do with this? If you say, if he might be revealed, right? It's the aorist passive of phanerao. What'd you just say? Well, what you said is that John's not sure whether Jesus is going to come back or not. You can't do that. So this is, in this subjunctive, you just simply cannot use may or might. And you really can't even use if with aeon. When you look over the translations, you'll see that universally they all say, when he appears. That's how I did it. NASB, when he appears. CSB, ESV, NRSV, NIV, Net Bible. The NLT says when he returns. They understand that his appearance is his return, his second coming, so they help you understand that. But the point is, none of them says if he might. You just can't do that. So in order that, when he returns, and now what you have is another subjunctive. You got hina, so you know you're going to have a subjunctive, right? Then there it is. In order that, when he returns, then what on earth is this word? Well, you have your lengthened vowel because of the subjunctive, and you have sigma chi. If you've been learning your roots, you'll know that this is the root of echo, right? Echo. And so this is your aorist active subjunctive of echo. It's interesting that you'll see that there's a variant right here. And by the way, the dot in there wants to, let me clear some of this up here. What it means is that this indicates that this word has a variant, and they use the dot in there to say, well, this word also has a variant. If you go back to the text, you can see that the variant on aeon is hatan. In other words, some Greek scribes really saw that the if wasn't appropriate, so they wanted to say when. And the variant for the skomen is echomen, is the present tense. You can see that the original hand of Sinaiticus has a present. This is an aorist, but those are the variants. So in other words, in order that, this is why you're to remain in him, that when he appears, that then you have confidence, and you have a compound, not only confidence, but you will not be ashamed. And there's several ways that you can translate this. You could say, not be ashamed before him. In other words, as you stand before the Lord at his coming, you don't want to be ashamed. Other translations make it more spatial. You don't shrink back from him. Either way is fine. Anyway, in order that you will not be ashamed before him. And when would this happen? This is your dative of time when, isn't it? it's at the time of, we would say when, or at his parousia, at his coming, at his second return. So it's really a great example of how you've got to watch your subjunctives. So if you're going to go ahead and phrase it, it'd be, and now, little children, you get to the main sentence, remain in him. He introduces a subordinate construction, so you always start a new line. And you have this if-then construction. So I'm going to go ahead and do it that way. We're going to have confidence and also not be ashamed before him. When will we not be ashamed before him? At his coming. So if we can indent some stuff, the minute and auto is your main thought. And so you got your temporal indicator going on here. And you have a vocative, right? That's agreeing with the you in menete. That we are to abide in him. The hina tells us why we are supposed to do that. So that should be indented as well. And then you have this if-then clause. So we're going to do it something like this. And if the variant indicators are confusing, maybe we'll just get rid of them for now. In order that when he appears, we might have confidence before him. And if I had room on my screen, I would probably put the chi on its own line. But I don't have room, so there's your parallelism. And when will you not be ashamed? At his coming. And so it's, and now, children, remain in him, main thought. Why do you remain in him? Well, it's so that when he appears, two things are going to happen. You will have confidence at his appearance, and the inverse of that is that we will not be ashamed before him when at his appearance. And you notice you have these related words here. So it's yet another encouragement to remain faithful to Christ, because he is going to come, and we want to have confidence at his appearance and not be ashamed.